my name is Michael Everett, and today I'm going to be teaching you a couple tips and tricks for cards. Mainly, the first tip I'm going to go through is bridging the deck of cards. Now, there are many different uses to bridging a deck of cards, one of which being to keep the cards nicer. So, cards have a tendency, when you use them a lot, when you shuffle them, to bend one way. Now, this allows shuffling in the future to be harder. It also makes it harder to deal cards, and also harder to play with them, as well as making the cards look not as nice and a little bit more rough and used. The second tip, second reason that shuffling looks good is very, very simply, it looks cool. Now, we all know the guy who can do different tips and tricks and stuff like that with cards, and those are very impressive, but they can take hours of practice and maybe even a couple days of just going through it and learning the cards. This is a trick that you should be able to learn in one day, maybe two, if you're just kind of just working with it. Maybe even, some people can pick it up in even an hour if you're very familiar with cards. Now, I'm going to start by showing you just kind of real quick how to shuffle. Just take the cards, split them into two even halves. Take your fingers, put them down, push down, make sure it bends, right? And then release very slowly. It takes just a little bit of practice, and you want to get it like on the edge. One mistake people make is they push it together too far, and it makes it very hard to bridge. Now, the second thing you're going to do is you're going to kind of bend the cards this way, keeping two thumbs on the top so the cards don't split up like I just did. If you want to get them very correct, you keep your thumbs up there, keep them with a good base. All right. Then you want to slowly release from the bottom, keeping your removing your pinky and your ring fingers, allowing them to kind of bridge together fast. I'm going to try to show you one more time, a little fast-paced, like that. Now, doing it like this is going to keep the cards from bending. As you can see, when you shuffle, you're bending the cards this way, right? You're going to give them a good that shape. But when you go to bridge, the cards that are once bent this way, you can bend them the other way. And bending them this way is going to allow them to retain their shape and keep themselves in a better place. It can take a little bit while and a little bit of practice. If you're struggling, you might want to go and make sure your shuffling technique is correct, because you want to get it into a good place before you begin to learn how to bridge it. And then bridging the cards takes a bit of practice. It takes a day of you just kind of sitting there playing with cards. You know, if you ever go on a flight and you have to sit in the waiting area, bring a deck of cards, shuffle, reshuffle. You're going on a long card trip, shuffle and reshuffle. Just keep practicing and playing around with a cheap deck of cards. I personally have a nice deck of cards that I use constantly. I kind of break it out whenever I'm having a bigger party. But they are very nice. I don't want to keep them messy, so I practice with just a simple bicycle deck of cards. And then whenever I have a bigger event, I'll break out the newer cards. You don't want to use them too much, because even though you are bridging the cards, and that does keep them nicer, it will still wear and tear on the cards. Just like using anything will wear and tear on whatever you're using. So I would really much recommend using a just not as nice deck of cards and then becoming to practice with a newer deck of cards. Because when you practice with a cheaper deck of cards, you can perfect your technique while also not ruining a nicer deck of cards.